We Just Love Games presents That Fallout Show, starring Shaline, Vendertron, and Rick McVick.
How lucky can one guy be?
Brought to you by Cambridge Polymer Labs. Are you a scientist looking for work? Perhaps a recent grad from MIT? Then look no further. Come to Cambridge Polymer Labs today and just ask for Molly. Now, on to our show.
Hello, hello.
Welcome, sir or madam.
That's all right. Oh, no audio from Rick.
Oh,
Oh, no.
no audio from Rick.
No, I was
Okay.
muted. See, here's the thing. Look,
We don't need Rick.
No.
Wait, is it recorded for audio for the
Let me-
podcast? Or do we need to start over?
no, it's just my mic. That's fine.
Cut,
So here's
cut.
what
But
we'll do.
like, we need you though. Like, we need you to be on the audio podcast.
We're gonna
Like,
rewind. So here. Hi, and everyone. Welcome to episode 4 of That Fallout Show. Beta to the max. I hope everyone's Friday was as less on fire as mine currently still is. I'll get to that later. And with us tonight, as always, is Vendertron and Shaline.
Hello, hello.
Welcome, sir or madam.
Like we're familiar with doing intros. Tonight's episode, we have got a ton of stuff. But before we get to that, we would like to ask a couple things of you guys to help us out with the show. You could always help us promote the show by sharing it on your social media, sending us emails, because we have a couple now. We thank you so much. But we love interacting with you guys. You could like, subscribe, and retweet our things, which is going to be at That Fallout Show on Twitter. So please do that. And you can tell your friends, anybody who likes Fallout or likes just good podcasts with good entertainment, because let's face it, we are great entertainment. Tell your friends and host us on Twitch. It means a lot to us. So any way that you can share us on social media would be absolutely amazing. So yeah, tonight's overview, we've got some news, gameplay, a challenge recap. We have, I think, Shaline, you've got some slow IRL.
Yes.
I
Yes,
have a
sort of.
lore. I found a new monster. I did lore of a new monster. I'm excited.
sweet.
And
So it's a folklore lore segment.
well, not really. It's old school. It's from Fallout 2.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And then we've got some listener emails. And to get us started, we have some 5-star reviewer shout outs. So please, Vendertron, if you would.
Before we get into the 5-star review shoutouts, I want to shout out a big warm welcome to Dr. 7up in the chat. Says she is a huge fan, and they've been watching since the beginning. So
Oh,
welcome to the
nice.
show.
Welcome aboard, Dr. 7up.
5-star review shoutouts. If you guys would like to send us a 5-star review shoutout, not 4-star review shoutout, because we don't talk about those on the air. Send us a 5-star review shoutout. Don't forget to leave a comment, because that's the only way that we know that it was you that left the 5-star review.
Mm-hmm.
And this fortnight we've got Nate Shapiro, Gooby R4163,
I think it's
Iceberg.
goobier.
Oh, I like Gooby better.
Gooby R.
Gooby R. Iceberg, DSob127, Brisashi, and Link6407. Thank you guys for those 5-star reviews. And all you got to do is access us on iTunes.
Mhm.
Find us on iTunes and send us a 5-star review shout out. And we will make mention of you on the next episode of That Fallout Show.
I also want to make mention that every time we get, like, I think we've got a few emails from Nate Shapiro, or I see his name pop up on Twitter. I think that he's like someone from NPR.
Nate Shapiro, it just sounds like a
It
famous
does.
name, right?
I think Ben
Like,
Shapiro.
who's that? Is that Nate Shapiro?
I think Ben Shapiro is actually a reporter for NPR, which is why I get so thrown off.
Well, I don't know, but I prefer Nate Shapiro to Ben Shapiro any day.
Any day of the week.
There's
Lovely fellow.
there's an amazing pasta place in the area where I live in, and the owner's last name is Shapiro, and it always makes me think of that. every time I want pasta now.
It's a nice name, Shapiro.
Yeah.
It sounds very official, right?
Yeah.
So normally,
Anyways,
so normally what we would do here is we go right to the news, but we do have some new things, and a new thing. Shaline, you've been talking with Mr. G. We've been talking with him a little bit. So why don't you take it away? Because we have something cool to show on the show.
Are we going to do it right now? We're going to do it right now?
Are we not going to do it right
are we
now?
doing it?
Oh,
Let's
no,
do
that's
it.
fine.
You
Let's
didn't
do
put
it
it in the
right
show
now.
notes. I
I'm
figured you'd do it at the
excited.
top of the
I'm
hour.
Okay, it's
Okay,
happening.
guys. So you may remember Mr. G, our old friend Mr. G, who wrote a song a day in the lead up to Fallout 4. And it turned out to be like 87 songs or something ridiculous. So this incredible fellow songwriter, musician, and all-around good guy has teamed up with a fellow named BitTrashRiot, and
Whom we've
together
seen and love.
they made us a song.
They have.
And it's a very good song, and it was really kind of them. And we would like to play it. And furthermore, Mr. G has also provided us with some codes for his album of 80 some odd songs, all about Fallout. And we will be giving away some of those codes tonight on this very show. And let's hear this new song from Mr. G and BitTrashRiot.
Real quick, just about that Fallout album that he did. We got to mention that when he was doing this, he was doing a Fallout song a day for 80 days until the release of Fallout 4. I mean, this is no easy feat, a song a day. And what makes this album even better, that yours truly is on it as well as a collaboration.
Indeed.
If you don't remember
And
that.
I would just like to interject and point out, I just posted in the chat, but for our audio listeners, if you're listening after the fact, you can find Mr. G on youtube.com/user/Mr. G Rocks, MRGEEROCKS. Check him out. All of his playlists are on there, and he also has a pretty kickin' beard, I might say.
Yes.
So.
And so this
Indeed.
song is called Fallout Through the Years, mixed by BitTrashRiot and mastered, I believe, by Mr. G. It's kind of like a folk chiptune thing. So
Ooh. Let's roll it.
Yes, they've innovated a new genre.
here we go.
Shaline, Rick, Vandertron, take us on a trip. Radiation glowing, mutants all around. Sometimes we laugh, sometimes we cry, but we know no matter what, we'll always have the time to talk about the wastelands, talk about the Lord, talk about surviving radiation storms, talk about the doubts, talk about the fears, talk about the game we all love. It's Fallout Through the Years. That Fallout show.
Oh man, that's so good.
Right? I love it so much. They did an amazing job.
And so that's going to be our new intro.
No. That's
Oh,
not gonna be
well,
our
I think
intro.
it should be our new intro.
No.
Oh, man.
Can we get the rights to
No,
that?
I didn't mean
Maybe
it
we
like
should have talked about this before the show, guys.
we did. We should have. We never discussed it being an intro. It's a possibility, but I just mean that's not.
The tone, Rick, when you're just like, no.
No. Look,
The chat is weighing in. They also think that it should be the new intro.
this is. I meant. This is not something I wanted to just be dropped like a decision like that. So I wanted to squelch
No,
that it's not
It's
happening. at
it's
the
very
moment.
well done.
We've
I like
never
it.
talked about it. Literally, this got queued up like 5 minutes ago. This is all part of the. It's on fire. Everything's on fire.
But we love it, though,
We do.
right?
Yes, of course. I
We
love the
love
song.
it. And
Yes.
thank you guys so much, Mr. G and BitTrashRiot. The fact that you took the time and used your creative time to do something for us, that's incredible. Like that blows my mind.
Mhm.
And it means a lot to us.
Yeah, it's for people to take time out of their own lives to do it in an above everything else that they're doing. And for us, I mean, that's cool. That's real cool.
Yeah. It's not easy creating a song in collaboration. Certainly not the easiest thing to do. Actually, I think, I don't think I've ever heard another song that has like a folk thing going on with a chiptune. And as you know, I'm a sucker for chiptune.
Yeah.
So I was very happy
really
about
neat.
that. And if I'm not mistaken, that's across the pond collaboration too. So you gotta think they were writing in different time zones.
Indeed.
So, and yeah, I'm surprised. Everyone loves it in the chat. That's amazing. The reason I jumped on that real quick is because we hadn't discussed it, and I didn't want to say we were doing something and get two people excited, and then we decide not to do it. I just didn't want that to be the case. So we are going to talk about it, and I'm pretty sure we all know what the answer is going to be, but we'll talk about it later. Anyway.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
All of our major show decisions are made on the show.
That's true.
Right.
You know?
We like to plan the show on the show. Speaking of planning the show on the show, the Mr. G Fairy dropped in the studio here and left me a bunch of codes. Did you guys see him? He just flew right by.
All we saw was a beard.
So I've got, all I saw was a beard and wings. So I've got a bunch of codes here for the Mr. G, the new album. Is it the new album, Rick? Is that
No. This
it's the old album.
This is for the Fallout album that came out right before Fallout 4.
So first come, first serve. Send me a PM me on Twitch right now if you're listening live. And the first, I think I've got 10 codes. The first 10 people to send me a message saying, "Hey, send me the link," I'll give that code away.
Fantastic.
Awesome. And
So thank you very much, Mr. G, for providing those codes.
Just to point out a couple things, there's a bunch of different collaborations on that album. It's like I said, it's 80 songs long. It also includes the the FOTR theme. It also includes songs such as "I'm an Avertibird" featuring Bone Cage.
I'm an Avertibird.
Deathclaw.
It's a good one.
It also features "The Lonesome Road," that Fallout Shelter song, the Repcon Shakes, and the Helios Blues with yours truly.
Oh man,
My favorite one, I think, is Papa Mystery Girl with the falsetto. Mr. G has an amazing falsetto.
So it also, I didn't know this. It includes the Ham Radio podcast theme song and Lone Vault Wanderer unofficial theme song. So there's a couple different podcast crossovers. That's awesome.
Indeed.
There's
Speaking
a
of
lot
Lone
music.
Vault Wanderer, he recently announced that he is the new community manager for Bethesda Australia. So
Wow.
congratulations to Lone
congrats.
Vault Wanderer.
Congrats.
Indeed. So,
Captain Bones doesn't know how to PM on Twitch.
well,
I wouldn't even know how to do it.
we got you,
somebody
buddy.
should
Don't worry about
explain
it.
that to him. And I think there's a certain Mr. New Vegas that we need to hear from on this podcast.
If you like news, you're gonna love our next segment.
What happened in the world of Fallout this bye week, Shaline?
Well, Rick, Todd Howard is at it again. He did another interview. This one was with UK's The Guardian. It was a very extensive interview, and I included some tidbits from that here. Some tidbits, by which I mean like 2 pages of information.
Shaline tidbits.
I know.
There's a lot
know,
here.
Ridiculous. Fallout 76 began as a concept design for Fallout 4. They never got around to actually prototyping it. They just imagined what multiplayer would look like, and they started putting people to work on the project in 2015, before Fallout 4 was actually finished. Todd Howard doesn't like calling Fallout 76 a survival game. He says, "We avoid the word survival because people's minds immediately go to DayZ and Rust and certain other games, and those comparisons are not really accurate for what we're doing," said Howard. "If you think about the survival modes we've made in Fallout 4, it has that vibe. Fallout 76, although it's an online game, when I play it, I mostly still play it solo. We like those experiences as much as our fans do." And guys, I don't know about you, but that quote does not tell me that Fallout 76 is not a survival game. It just tells me that that's not how they want to market it.
Well, we know that if he's equating it to Fallout 4 survival mode or, like a New Vegas survival mode, that's softcore survival. That's I mean, you've played Ark, Vendertron. We love Ark. That's a survival game. That's like
Yeah.
yeah. And so I tend to understand what he's coming from. I would not quantify Fallout 4 as a survival game even in survival mode just because it's softcore survival. Just like this is like a softcore multiplayer. It's a softcore survival thing. So I get why he doesn't want people to be in the same mindset of this is like a Rust kind of game, because it isn't. I mean,
right.
so
Can I just
it makes
interrupt
sense.
you, Rick, for a moment?
No, I'm done. So
We need to reiterate how people can redeem the codes.
oh, do we?
Aren't they on? Are they iTunes codes or? Mr. G's in chat. Mr. G, what kind of codes are they?
Oh, he is.
We're just
He was a
throwing
minute
codes.
ago.
We're throwing codes at people, and they're like, "Where do
Okay,
we use
I'll
the
tell
Where
code?"
do we redeem
I'll
the
tell you
codes?
where to do it right now because that was an oversight on my part. Welcome to Everything's on Fire. Go to
Wow.
bandcamp.com, mrg.bandcamp.com/yum. I'm going to...
Okay, Bandcamp.
Bandcamp.
They are Bandcamp codes.
Okay.
Fantastic. Thank
Yeah,
you.
so mrg.bandcamp.com/yum.
Furthermore, Todd Howard mentions that it's no fun to die. You know, you lose all your stuff and then you're back at square one. So they wanted to make sure that you don't lose your progression in Fallout 76. So that's really the major difference, I guess, as you guys were saying, between a survival game and what 76 has going on.
Yeah.
More Todd Howard quotes. I usually find in our games the best moments aren't the ones that we designed. They're when you're out in the open world and different systems collide. Putting that power in the hands of the players exponentially increases the number of different magic moments that can happen in the game. And I really like that because I've also found that the best moments in Fallouts are not necessarily the scripted ones as much as the ones that the stories that we tell are much better than the stories that Bethesda tries to tell us. So I like that.
Yeah. I agree with that.
He also said there's an open world with our kinds of quests, and you do have a goal, but then you don't know what's going to happen when you run into somebody else. That interested us greatly from a design mood standpoint. He made it very clear that Fallout 76 is not the model for all Fallout titles from here on out. This game is its own thing. And the quote is, "We had the idea, and for a while now we've been thinking we should try it. We are sometimes afraid of doing it as much as our friends are afraid of us doing it. But we've got to try new things." And he also made some statements about player freedom. Basically, Bethesda is giving us tools and a world, and they want to see what they make of it. And there was a second part of the interview in which he talked a lot about Skyrim and Elder Scrolls 6. And Elder Scrolls 6, he said specifically, is 2 games away.
Ooh.
The Guardian asked if it was possible to get an externally developed title again, like Fallout New Vegas. And Todd Howard's reply was, "I wouldn't say never. But now that our company is so big, it's always better to keep stuff internal. It becomes less likely. But I could never say never. I thought the Obsidian guys did a fabulous job." And what I hear when I listen to that is never, ever, ever.
Yeah.
Never again.
Yeah.
Never, ever.
Ain't gonna happen.
The interviewer asked if remasters of other older games were possible, like they've done with Skyrim, and Howard said that he prefers backwards compatibility to remasters. So
Says
that's
Skyrim Special Edition.
I know. So looks like we're not going to get a Fallout 3 Special Edition or anything like that. He also said that Starfield has been in active development for nearly 3 years, but he implores fans to have patience because these kind of games take time. So that's it for the Todd Howard Guardian interview. I thought there was some really great information in there.
Yeah. I was gonna say I want to pop back to where he talks about talking about fans being afraid of them doing this, and that's one thing I want to kind of point out again. There's so much negativity going on right now with this new Fallout. I think we just need to be patient and relax. I mean, this is just an experiment. Why not enjoy the ride, right?
Indeed.
But I also get the other side of it is like spending $200 pre-ordering a special edition of a game that might flop. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on all this, guys?
Go ahead, Vendor.
I'm entertaining the chat. You go ahead.
No, that's
Well, I think I kind of
yeah.
already have talked about all my thoughts on it.
That and my big
I'll just read
takeaway was basically, you know, what I've been saying is that we should be patient, relax, and this is just an experiment, and we're all along for the ride, and so is Bethesda. And I think the idea of like unknown, like exponentially unknown variables, is kind of cool to a developer, I would imagine. You know what I mean? Because they just don't know how everything's going to turn out. They'll set up the code the one way, but infinitely variable people playing what they're doing is pretty impressive. So
as a person who doesn't pre-order games, because I have some sort of like old man patience for video games when they come out. Maybe it's just because life is so busy that I don't even think about it. But this would be a game that I would definitely not pre-order.
Interesting.
Only because it's so high risk.
Mhm.
It's
True.
very high risk. It's a speculative buy, as we like to say in the game stock world, right, Shaline?
Absolutely.
But I think it has huge potential.
Mhm.
But I think that a lot of people really just kind of jump into things with video games. So
We've all had pre-order burn before, and you know, I mean, Mass Effect Andromeda, for instance. I pre-ordered Fallout 76 for the beta, as most of us did, and at the same point with that, I'm still excited. I'm a fanboy, so it's almost like I'm partially biased, I guess. But
Right,
I think it's going to be
right.
good. I'm very excited for it. I just
I'm hopeful. And I don't know. I always feel trepidation, but I'm hopeful.
Good.
So there's a new expansion coming out, a new California expansion. But don't get too excited. It's for the board game. So if you're a board game fan, though, go ahead, get excited, go crazy, get excited. But this new expansion for the Fallout board game adds 2 new scenarios and 5 new characters, along with map tiles and loot. The Brotherhood of Steel, Lost Hills Bunker, the Cathedral, and Arroyo have all been added. Arroyo is a cooperative section. So this is actually pretty neat because it's a way to revisit the West Coast areas of the Fallout universe, because Bethesda seems to want to keep us toward the east. Characters include the Enclave Deserter, an NCR Ranger, a Caravan Merchant, a Lone Gunslinger, and a Mr. Handy Robot.
Hey, there's a robot.
I know, playable robot.
How
For the
about
first
that?
time, playable robots.
Not for the first time, and you know.
Indeed. The choice of name made the creators of the Project Brazil mod pretty nervous because their project is officially called Fallout New California. They were afraid that the shared name might spell doom for their project, but they were worried without cause.
Todd Hines.
Pete Hines stated in an email to Motherboard, people can do with mods about whatever they want, whether they're doing a board game or not. This is little ado about nothing. Best of luck to them on their mod. The mod authors made a joke about sending a welcome gift to their new neighbors, and the mod is looking at an October release date. So that's actually pretty soon. So I'm looking forward to playing that mod when it's finished. I enjoyed what I played so far, the part 1 of the mod. So it's a Fallout New Vegas mod.
I don't think I've ever touched it, just because.
You did.
Did I?
You did. Mm-hmm.
Oh, it broke for me like right away. Yeah. I'm like you said before, I'm skeptical of like mod trailers, like the Fallout Miami, because it's kind of like
I'm done. I'm done reporting on the exciting looking mods until they're playable. I'm done.
Just a quick update on our Mr. G codes. There are 5 codes left. First come, first serve. Please send me a personal message here on Twitch, and I will make sure that you get that.
Nice, nice.
Also,
Sounds
Mr. G,
good.
Maria says thank you for the code.
Oh, that's awesome.
She came in late, so.
When you were talking about the characters included in the board game, Dat Doctor TFA was like, hopefully a Fisto.
Oh no. It always goes back to the Fisto, doesn't it? We
It
always end
does.
up there on this podcast.
It's great. It was such a unique robot.
It was some funny stuff.
Mhm.
So, guys, the Fallout 76 beta, we pre-ordered. We pre-ordered our games.
We
We're
did.
gonna get access to the beta. Do you know when we're gonna be playing the beta?
Not
Any
anytime
guesses?
soon.
No.
I
The
wanna say
Fallout 76
April?
beta
Of
April
2019.
of 20.
is scheduled for October.
Nice.
October, 1 month before Fallout 76 releases. Bethesda's community manager Jessica Folsom announced via the Bethesda.net forums, "Hi everyone, popping in to say that it's been very fun seeing everyone's discussion on Fallout 76 and what your hopes and thoughts are about the game. I and members of the studio regularly lurk, and it's been great to read through your questions and feedback. With that in mind, we know you're anxious to learn more about the game and more specifically about the beta. Starting in October, we'll be selecting people who have pre-ordered the game from a participating retailer to enter our beta. We'll start small and grow over time as we prepare for launch. Be sure you've read our FAQ for details on how to redeem your beta code and other important details. Edit. To clarify, everyone who pre-orders at a participating retailer will be included in the beta. Beyond that, we know you have numerous questions about the game. Things are still changing and being iterated on, so we cannot answer everything yet, but we encourage you to submit your questions. During the Fallout 76 panel at QuakeCon, we'll be answering some of your questions. If you're in Dallas, come join us. If you're not able to make it in person, you can check out the fun via the live stream airing on Mixer. Send questions our way by posting them here in the forums, any of the Fallout subreddits, Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. Thank you again for all your patience, discussion, and feedback and thoughts as we get closer to the launch of Fallout 76.
Woohoo! Sorry. Just can't contain my excitement.
How do you feel about this October release, huh?
Well, I mean, between September and January, it's going to be like a blur for me because school, so I won't even notice that the release comes out. How do you guys feel about it?
Well, Rick, do you want to go first here? Do you want to go first?
This proves what I said 2 weeks ago, in that the beta will come out, and the feedback and changes that they implement due to our beta testing will be implemented within like the first couple patches, not upon release. Because I'm pretty sure that also Pete Hines did say the beta will be the released game. Didn't he say that? I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember that.
I think one of them
If I
said-
remembered that, I would not be as angry as I am right now.
I think that might have been Pete Howard.
Pete
Howard?
Howard? Yeah, Pete Howard said that.
You sure it wasn't Todd Hines?
So
It could have been one or the other.
So that just proves my thought of last week is that the beta is going to come out, then it's going to launch. It's not going to be changed, maybe if at all. There's going to be obviously a day one patch, but it's just going to launch as the beta, and then when the first couple major patches come out, it's going to be based on our feedback from the beta and such. And that was because of the timeline that's been going up with it. I like how she says they're going to ramp up slowly, launching this thing in October. That's a quick ramp up.
I know, right?
So you can tell it seems like Bethesda is somewhat still cautious of their build. That's what this is telling me.
And the funny thing about Bethesda is that they always deliver on their word. Like if they promise you a game next week, you can guarantee it's going to be out next week. It might be crappy and not really work, but it'll be out next week.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that they're kind of delaying this, it makes me feel as not as confident in them in being confident in their own work.
No, I still have confidence in they're going to deliver a quasi-buggy game, but that's just normal. But one of the things that we have to do, and if anyone from Bethesda is listening, and I hope you are, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for all of the developers that are putting in 80-plus hours a week getting this thing ready for launch.
Yeah.
So taking time away from your families, it's not easy, especially launch time, I'm sure. So from our community, from that Fallout Show's community to yours, thank you so much for all the time you're putting into it, because we know it's got to be hell.
It's giving us great momentum, so don't stop working.
Oh man.
So I did want to point that out there, but I don't know.
So now that Rick has said nice things, I'm livid, guys. I'm livid. I am so bugged. Oh,
This is why we can't have nice shows.
I'm so annoyed. Like, I had so much confidence that when Bethesda said, we're doing a beta, we want you to break it early, that meant they were going to do a beta. But this close to launch, it's not a beta. This is a demo. This is a marketing tool. It's a stress test for the servers. This is not a beta. They are not going to be, really considering our feedback. This is a beta is for balance. A beta is for balance and bug fix, and there's not time. There's not time to implement that in the final game. This is not a beta. It's not a beta. It's a demo. It's a marketing tool. It's a stress test for the servers, and I was rooting for you, Bethesda. We were all rooting for you. I'm a little frustrated with that.
I'm still rooting for him.
I am too, of course. And I mean, they talked about internally testing the game to make sure it works. And we can have utter total faith in Bethesda's QA. They've never let a bug slip through to launch. So
Really? That's the level of sarcasm we're at. Says one who walks into a hat into the New Vegas Strip and
Indeed.
No, I know, I understand. They can't please everyone, and I don't know. It's I think we also need to get out of our heads that this is any sort of next Fallout, So we got to remember Fallout 5 is somewhere around the corner. And wait till that speculation starts.
Indeed, it already has.
Oh, of course it would.
But I wish they had set our expectations realistically. I wish that instead of saying, hey, we're going to give you this thing early, we want you to break it to smithereens so that everything is going to work well. We want you to give feedback. I'm sorry, the hype train is rolling right through my town here. But guys, I'm sorry. The train has distracted me. But I wish that instead of presenting it as this, beta, break it early, I wish that they had presented it as, hey guys, we're going to give you a little bit of early access. It'll be, a stress test, a demo. You guys can check it out, and cancel your pre-orders if you don't like it. I wish they had set our expectations realistically, and I guess that's all I have to say about that.
Do you want me to make you upset?
No, please. I'm already, my blood pressure, Rick. Blood pressure is here.
When we talked about when we got our copies of Fallout 4, we were saying we got them early, and it was a day early. A day. And so this is still early.
It is early, but a beta is a different thing.
I don't know. I mean, if Star Citizen can be an alpha for like 5 years, then maybe
Star Citizen is a whole different thing too. Oh, Star Citizen. Gracious.
Anyway, I think it's time to move on from this.
Let's do.
Beta in August. I'm still looking forward to it. There we go.
I mean, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there in October. Beta in October, not in August. Beta in October.
Did I say August?
Yeah, you did. That's why I'm salty. That's.
My brain is fried.
Beta in October. I'm still going to be there playing it.
I mean, it would be beta in August.
Jesus.
Sorry.
So.
Moving along. Sometimes I just can't help myself.
Post-National Enquirer, our rumors and speculation segment. In the Todd Howard Guardian interview, Todd mentioned that Fallout 76 contains robots, mutants, and intelligent ghouls.
Yes!
So I'm wondering, are some of these creatures going to be friendly? Can they serve as quest givers and NPCs? What was the exact wording when they said no NPCs? Did they say no NPCs, or did they say no human NPCs? Because that would be totally fine with a world populated by robots and ghouls. You know, that would be
I don't
fantastic.
I don't know.
I would like
don't
that.
I don't know.
I thought we assumed, like, I assumed when they said that there's no all other characters are people and there's going to be ghouls, super mutants, and robots. I automatically assumed that those were going to be,
Tangos.
like no. I automatically assumed that they were going to be NPCs in the sense that some of them were going to be interactive, and that every person you meet is not going to be an NPC. Like that's how I assumed it was going to be right from the get-go. So I'm pretty sure that's what they're aiming for.
Yeah. Interesting.
I don't know.
I'm just wondering how something about the wording there made the little speculation start to form in the back of my mind, wondering if maybe some of these intelligent ghouls and robots are going to be, interesting people. So.
Well, I do remember Todd Howard saying something about role playing. And this really could play into having the human and even no human NPCs. If you could just be a Trader Joe and set up shop somewhere.
Yeah, maybe.
What a role play there, man.
Selling only organic potatoes.
Yeah, and sunflower seeds.
Buying bulk.
Fantastic.
But yeah.
Yeah, anyway, I think it would be cool. I'm hoping for some fun and interesting.
I really hope that and I don't think that this will be the case. Maybe it will be, but our actions will affect the NPCs as they always have.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't know.
Is it going to be the case? I don't know.
This is going to be interesting to see how their quests are affected when people do other things.
And like as a group, as if we're playing together, will our group effort
like if I've
accomplishments
totally
change the way NPCs interact with all three of us?
If I've totally befriended somebody, but then like Rick rolls in and just kills their best friend, then are they going to be hostile with me too?
Exactly.
It's going to be like Monty Python and the Holy Grail, like when the prince is trapped in that one room and like that Sir Lancelot enters the room and the guy starts the spiel. Now you're not allowed to enter the room unless you, and then he like kills him in the middle of the speech. It's going to be like that. Like an NPC's like, so I've got this quest for you, and then thwack right in the noggin. Super mutants down. All of a sudden, where'd the quest go? So maybe other NPCs will spawn in their place. Like, it seems Jim took a bullet, but I know the quest he was going to give you. So I don't know. It would be very interesting to see what's going to go. That's probably what they're working through. They're probably trying to make it all smooth because we all know the immersion in ESO is really strange. I always say, for instance, there was a mission where you're supposed to sneak into a place. They're like, you sneak in and steal this guy's thing. So there I am, sneaking into this place, and then 5 other people are jumping around.
Right. That first stealth mission was really the moment that ESO lost me.
Yes, yep. You know exactly what I'm talking about then.
That's the nice thing about ESO, though, is that we kind of have a feeling that, some of the same people will be working on the Fallout 76, and so
no,
it won't be so bad.
That's not going to happen at all.
ESO
really,
sauce.
it's a different studio. It's a completely 100% different studio.
And they're completely different games.
But what's to say that they haven't hired people that have worked on ESO?
Oh, I don't know. I
well,
mean,
that's
or Fallout
certainly
76.
possible. Certainly possible.
Internal switching. But the thing that this is not going to have is 50 million people on a server. So, well, not 50 million.
Which I am very much looking forward to.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Because that is just... Those days for me are over.
I swear, if those Keller tapes are in that, well, I'm going to be...
Have you still not found the last Keller tape?
No, I haven't found the 5th one yet.
Rick.
I'm going to be on my deathbed.
It's not even one of the hard ones. You found all the hard ones.
Screw you. I'm going to be on my deathbed like trying to mod Fallout 4's or Fallout 3's INI. Like, for some reason, it just won't boot anymore. You know, and
I
like
can't get it to run on the microchip implanted in my head.
Yeah, I don't. So I don't know. Yeah, see, look, Vault Dweller 111 in chat says he's still missing 3 and 5, and one of them is one of I'm missing. I think I'm missing 3, honestly. So all right, it'll happen. It'll happen eventually. So anyway,
Wow.
it's gonna be interesting to see how the whole quest system works. I've been trying to run that through my brain, and the only thing I could figure out is just like random holotapes laying around and radio broadcasts via those towers that you activate.
Right.
But that seems so like, just I don't know.
And in Dullsville, huh?
Yeah,
it's not. It doesn't have that. You know, it doesn't have that
true
charm.
Fallout fetch quest charm. Yeah. There's no getting paint to repaint. You know, the stadium walls. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. But I don't know. Speaking of in-game, shall we talk about what we've been doing this week in the world of gaming?
Let's shall.
Yes.
So, Vendor, what have you been doing as far as Fallout gaming?
I've been playing every game except Fallout. So
And last week on GameStack, you had some lovely Fallout gameplay. So
I know I really timed that
everybody
wrong.
listen to GameStack.
Actually,
Wow.
that was all part of my master plan.
Apparently
I
so.
actually want you guys to listen to GameStack instead of that Fallout show.
You could do both. There's enough hours in
We're
a
on
week.
the same team. Sorry, just having an internal monologue, battle with myself. I played every other game in the book except Fallout. So Sea of Thieves and No Man's Sky, which I will tell you guys all about next week on the next
yes.
episode of
Yeah.
GameStack Podcast.
Okay.
Shaline, what about you?
Well, guys, this week I was out of town at like a bunch of classes and to get a certification.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in Albuquerque all week. I was not able to play a lot of games. But week before I left, I sat down and I thought, you know what? I'm gonna play Fallout Tactics. I've never
Ooh.
played Fallout Tactics.
Whoa.
And I thought this is gonna be good times. I'm gonna check out Fallout Tactics. So I booted up Fallout Tactics, and then guys, I spent 2 hours getting Fallout Tactics to run.
What?
Yeah.
Is it DOS?
It did not work. It took me a lot of time to get Fallout Tactics to run. And I spent a lot of time consulting the internet. I was like, please, Google, help me get Fallout Tactics to run. And finally, I found like a Steam thread, like a Steam forum thread with a fix. And it was like a very simple thing. And got that done, and it ran. The opening cinematic was really fun. Really liked it. It's set in Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
Brotherhood of Steel, very cool. And I played the tutorial, and then it was like way past my bedtime, and then I left for Albuquerque. So that's my Fallout gameplay. But I enjoyed the gameplay from the tutorial, which is interesting because it's an ISO. So yeah, I don't like turn-based combat, guys. I don't. But this was fun.
That's cool.
I had fun doing the tutorial. It's a very beefy tutorial as well. It took a lot of time to get
Are you
through.
biased, do you think, because it's Fallout? So that's why you didn't
Certainly.
mind it?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah. If it was skinned like Final Fantasy or something, I'd be like, Psh.
Widowmaker 865 in chat says the
Yeah.
payoff for getting it to run is pretty disappointing.
Oh dear.
What about
that's
you,
good.
Rick?
Well, first and foremost, I just want to tell a quick anecdote. This morning, I got up at 2:30 a.m. because I work in terrestrial radio as well. And I was headed down to a large gas station, weirdly, to do a radio remote from the gas station. The morning show talent was showing up, and I broadcast from the station, from the gas station there. And basically everything that could go wrong went wrong. And for an hour after our show was supposed to start, we were not broadcasting anything live to air. They were calling in on their cell phones, recording spots like the talent was, just so we had something to like air that people knew they were at the station. And I texted these guys at like 6 in the morning my time, like, if this is anything like the rest of my day, because I had another radio thing to do in the afternoon, which also got scrubbed. But I was like, if this is foreshadowing anything, then our Fallout show is going to be one ridiculous ride. And wouldn't you know, I started off with not even getting the intro song right and having my mic muted. It's just like,
man.
You know what? Embrace the fire, right? Embrace the fire.
Embrace the fire,
So,
you guys.
It was hilarious because I was just like, man, if this is like anything like the rest of today, but it's nutty. So I actually got in some Fallout time because I am dedicated to this show, unlike the other hosts.
Hey, I tried, guys. I tried.
Actually, no. Getting an old ISO to work is probably more dedication than
it was
playing
an
Fallout
adventure.
4.
It was really an adventure trying to get that game to run.
So I picked up the character that I've been playing, just like my normal character on Fallout 4, who has escaped to Far Harbor after blowing up the Institute. And he finds himself looking for a place to settle. And I found one, the National Park Visitor Center, which is covered in traps that I always forget about until I set them off.
It's a nice place.
It is cool. I've never been able to like activate it because I just never really knew how to do it. And so I did some quick Wikipedia work, and I found out that I have to complete a certain line of quests in order to be able to settle at National Park Visitor Center. And that includes you have to do the hull repair, you have to repair the wall, you have to do the rite of passage, and then you have to get a quest from the bartender, I'm forgetting his name, to go find his uncle.
Yeah.
And so I did the whole thing. I went out and got the power tools, and some guy tried to buy them off me. And I actually was curious, so I took the 2,000 caps for the tools, but then I didn't get like an option to like keep them, because sometimes when you get bribed, they give you the caps and they say hand over the item, and you can be like and then a fight ensues. So that's what I was gunning for, and so that didn't happen. So I killed him, and the tools weren't on him, so I reloaded, and then denied him the 2,000 caps and kept the tools, took them back to Far Harbor for them to use in the repair work, went to the destroyed ship, killed everyone there, all the raiders, and then, cleared out for them to come and take pieces of that ship to repair the rest of their wall. That initiated the Rite of Passage quest, which those of you don't know, the doctor gives you this quest where in order to increase your reputation with the town folk, because I'm an outsider, there's a particular swamp you've got to go to and throw raw meat in. Mirelurks come out. And on the third time that you do this, on the third wave of Mirelurks, a Mirelurk queen comes out and tries to kill you. I say tries to kill you because, as we all know, we are beasts who get to Far Harbor and we kill everything.
Yes.
And that's the quest that I'm currently working on. And after that happens, then you go back and everyone trusts you. Then that's when the bartender gives you this quest to go find his Uncle Henry, which will then give you access to the settlement. And it's like the most like hoops to jump through to just be left alone. Like there's other settlements to go to, like the one up north where there's the fog creature up there, and the fog crawler up there, who is at this one settlement. But I've been there. I've settled that. I want to settle this place because I've never done it before, and it's really cool looking. It's kind of big too. So I want to do that. While exploring, I've stumbled upon the hotel in Vault 118, which we always thought was an homage to Dead Leaves. Autumn leaves.
Autumn leaves.
Autumn leaves.
They're dead. Autumn leaves are, mostly. And so I was like, you know what, I'll do this. It's been a while since I've done a quest that doesn't require me to kill anything, so I'll go down and check it out. And I did it a lot quicker than I expected because I had the speech all the way up. I have my speech, or my charisma all the way up. And I may or may not have slept with the robot because it's fun.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
fun.
Yeah, she's fun.
The classic video game sex scene where the screen fades to black and fades normal, and everyone's just in the same position they were when they started.
Yeah, like you do.
So, Abs man says, by the time I get my hermit hovel, I'll be a well-liked person. That's very true. That's very true. So, I don't know. And once I get my little settlement, I'm going to put it on survival mode to make it more hermity, I guess. I don't know. So the Vault 118 was cool. I took the bribe from the murderer. I can't remember his name. I took the bribe from the murderer, and then I killed him. And so that was exactly what I was trying to do with the tools. So I got the money and found the murderer. And going through that hotel, I found the feral ghouls are much harder than I remembered. Like, I feel like everything's harder to kill in Far Harbor in general.
Yeah, Far Harbor is tough.
Yeah, Far Harbor's hard, man.
So,
Especially when you go to, like, the Children of Adam.
mhm.
Oh, man. That place is just death, death, death.
I think Bethesda really, with the DLCs, took it to heart when we were all kind of talking about how Fallout 4 was more casual than some of the previous games. I thought, oh, we'll give them casual.
Yeah.
We'll give them casual. And they really brought the pain in these DLCs.
Well, the game isn't that old, nor is the DLC. And I think back to when the first time I ever touched Far Harbor was on my Brotherhood of Steel survival run. And I think, like, how the heck did I do this? Like, how did I survive well on survival mode in Far Harbor? And it's like going back and playing Final Fantasy VII. It's like, how do I get the Knights of the Knights materia? Like, it makes no sense how I did this when I was 11, figured out the golden chocobo puzzle and how to breed it when I was 11, and got Knights of the Round, I think, materia, which is the ultimate one. And it's like the same concept. It's like, how did I beat this a year ago? Anyway, so I figured once I get settled, I'm actually going to go to Nuka World and become a raider, you know, be real curmudgeon. The General of the Minutemen turns key and is now a raider. I figured it would be kind of a cool little element to it. I still haven't beat Nuka World.
Right. You just went in and
Nuka
killed
World
the
was the
Raiders,
best.
didn't you?
I went in with Preston Garvey and we laid waste. I think I did some exploring.
But it's really fun to meet them and get
Nuka
to know
World
them.
was just awesome. I love all the factions.
I did some exploring there, and I do like the AK-47s with the shovel handle stocks, but I just never spent a lot of time.
I really like the Cedo quest. My favorite quest.
Yeah.
The what?
So fun. Cedo, did you never meet Cedo?
Is he the loincloth?
Yeah, his quest is fun.
Mm-hmm. I like the Wild West with Deputy. What's his name? The robot.
I don't know.
Eagle? Deputy.
Yeah.
Was it Eagle?
I think so. Something like that.
I wonder if that's a play on Deputy Beagle.
Maybe.
Because that was very New Vegas-y.
Yeah, it was very. Side note, everyone, the codes are now gone.
Ooh, wow. They went quick.
Congratulations, everybody who won.
So congrats, yes.
Vault Tech Dweller asked me if I survived Point Lookout. Yes, I did, thanks to my Gauss rifle and sneak. Point Lookout, that was another gorgeous DLC, wasn't it?
Point Lookout is good. It's really good.
So, but that was my gameplay, just a lot of Fallout 4. And this week, actually no, this week I'm going to be in Virginia, so no. But the next time I pick up a Fallout, it's going to be Fallout 3, because I'm going to find that stupid Keller tape if it's the last thing I do.
You're never going to find it.
So yeah, it's been a challenge. It has been a
If only I had one YouTube video with 5,000 views that showed you exactly where the Keller tape was.
No.
Shaline knows. She knows.
This is a personal challenge, and it's going to stay my personal challenge until I find the last one. And I like being challenged. Do you guys like being challenged?
I
Not
love
again.
being
Not
challenged.
again.
Always up for a good challenge.
Not all the time, but now and again.
It's ironic that we're talking about challenges because we had a challenge last
Oh,
fall.
good
We did.
one.
Did you
That
not
was
see what I was
smooth.
doing?
Nice. No.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
So,
Shaline.
gosh. So
I ruined it.
We had a
I ruined
last Fallout show.
Kevin Bones in chat. Oh man. Here lies Rick. He never found that last Keller tape.
I'm gonna put that on my gravestone, and 100 years from now, people are gonna be like, "The mystery of the Keller tapes." What were they?
Somebody will come and leave you the Keller tape.
Just a little
Like
holotape.
archaeologists are gonna be reading your tombstone and be like, "What are these Keller tapes?
Yeah.
Why did it mean so much to this man?"
So, So
we have a challenge.
We do. Last week it was show me your doomsday gun bunker. Since the first doomsday happened, you have to prepare for the next one, right? So apparently this might have been more difficult, and we didn't get a lot of entries, but 3 people did do an entry that I found. I don't know if anyone else. It is all I saw. So we're gonna go ahead and get to that right now. This.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
So This is
the
homage
best
to the
one.
gun run.
It wins.
This is from Vault Dweller. And I love this. He's got his Vendertron robot, his glass front cabinet with weapons in it. I love that. And then a whole plethora of weapons hanging in the background. And then that's his first shot. His second shot is going to be not working because my hotkeys are not.
You spent 7 hours on this.
What? Are you serious?
There we go.
You can tell, man.
Wow, yeah,
This
so
was a lot of work.
The next scene is his pistol rack, which I thoroughly enjoy. It's something
Yeah,
about
that's
pistols.
great. Yeah.
A whole plethora of different pistols there. Plasma, the Alien Blaster, a MAC-10. That's certainly a mod.
And I love how organized they are.
Well, so that's one of the things about the gun racks that bother me in Fallout 4 is that they snap to one rack.
I
so you can't
know.
just place them anywhere.
Right, right.
So it's really like, I mean, you could fit like 10 more guns on there. Come on.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, well, I know, but it's organized and modular.
But it does
so
look
it's
nice and organized, yes.
I think it was Family Guy that had that joke of, you know you're a redneck if your gun rack has a gun rack on it, which these certainly have gun racks on their gun racks. Oh, look at that. This is his
Ooh.
melee weapon rack. I love the
Ooh.
swords.
Beautiful.
The swords. And
Yes.
is that the hammer from
Nuka World?
No, that's
Looks
Joker's.
like Harley Quinn.
Yes, that's what I was thinking of. Harley Quinn.
Oh.
Yeah, I wonder if that's a mod.
Right.
You wonder if that's a mod?
Well, that's probably a mod.
Pretty sure.
And
a mod.
that curved sword on the right there.
Yeah,
Is that a
there's-
special?
That
That's a
one may
special
not be a
item.
mod. I don't know.
I don't know
It
if that-
could also be a mod.
It's a cutlass. He needs to add one thing from there, and he needs to add the sword from the Dunwick borers.
Also, there needs to be a golf club on there.
There's no. I don't think it's a golf club in Fallout 4.
I don't think there are.
Modify it.
Really?
Modify.
Oh.
But this is cool. And his last shot here is of his weapons parts. You know,
I don't
gunsmithing
see
area.
any power fists.
Were there? You know, you can't have them all. He's still building, Shaline.
Well,
I love how he sent us like 6 pictures
I
and spent
know.
7 hours
And you're
building
like,
it,
well,
and
we
we're
could've had a
still not
power
where's
impressed.
the power fist?
Tisk.
Like, well, that one pistol's crooked. I don't know.
Deathclaw gauntlet.
Oy vey. So moving on. The next one is actually from
Oh,
Archin.
this is fun.
So this is his Fallout Shelter gun bunker.
Look at that cat in the corner striking a pose.
Cute.
He's got a couple different people. One who I'm assuming is Preston Garvey because he's got the outfit.
Yeah, it's
And-
Preston.
And
And there's Lucas Sims on the right-hand side.
oh man, I didn't even notice that. That's awesome. And all of his, there's one like character in the background hidden behind some missiles. It looks like so they're all maxed out. And
That
hey,
one's in the shooting range.
Vendor, he's got a robot in here too. There's a Mr. Handy on the floor above him.
Yeah, I see
Oh,
that.
there you go.
Yeah. It's
But he-
probably Codsworth. I mean,
But
really.
he shows us his weapons collection. He has like a bunch of. Like, are these like signature weapons or what are these? specifically
Wait,
called?
so-
Yeah, these are
rifle.
legendary.
Oh, I forgot
These are
about the Wazer
legendaries.
rifle.
You've got the
man.
Burn Master, the Rail Master, Sharon shotgun, or is it Karen? I always
Sharon.
mess that up.
Sharon.
Henrietta, the Wazer rifle,
And here's another picture here.
Dragon's Maw.
Fire hydrant bat, which
Dragon's Maw is probably the best weapon in Fallout Shelter.
plasma rifles are great.
That's actually a plasma caster.
Is
which
it?
Highly superior.
Oh, my apologies. He's got the Merv, which I've been striving to get. Vengeance and Miss Launcher.
Vengeance is also really good. I also enjoy the fire hydrant bats. Those are just silly.
Plural.
Oh yeah, they're good.
Nice. So yeah, and I think that might be his last one. So this one is from someone I don't think we've gotten a submission for a long time. This is from Pixelated Twix.
I remember Pixelated Twix.
Yeah. So
Yes, welcome back.
I love the sign. So remember I mentioned defenses
She's awesome.
too. So she's got her gun bunker surrounded by turrets and spotlights, and the sign on it says "Trespassers will be shot, survivors will be shot again. If that doesn't hurt, we'll try grenades."
Nice.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think she's actually in chat. I thought I saw her
Oh,
earlier.
cool.
Yeah,
Cool,
I
cool,
think she
cool.
was. Yeah.
She said it was a build inspired by Cordless V or Cordless 7, I guess. But anyway, so this is the inside. She's got a Minute Man flag
Wow.
hanging, research and development
That's
sign. It's
nice.
amazing. It's
What?
like 2 floors.
Wow.
This is nicer than my house in real life.
Look at the Christmas lights.
This is awesome. This is like
Minuteman flag.
this was like in Tremors, wasn't it? When they open up that wall and it's just full of weapons. Like
Yeah,
this gun
in the
bunker.
basement.
Yeah.
The basement.
This is a good one.
All it's missing is Reba McEntire. So here's another
Yeah.
shot.
Oh, it's not finished.
No. What? Oh
What?
man.
No, I mean like this. There's more.
Oh
but
no,
wait,
there
there's
is more. But wait, there's more. And on the table, she's got some books and magazines and a model, Mr. That looks like
Robot models, which are not in the Fallout Bethesda store. Just pointing that out.
power armor in the background. She has a coffee. Is that a coffee maker? I think that's
Yeah.
a coffee maker. Man.
That is the most
That may be the
beautiful
Sloth
rocket
and Joe
garbage
one.
can I've ever seen.
I
It
know,
is.
isn't that sharp?
And then oh
Gosh, I
my
just wanna
gosh,
live
look
there.
at the ammo
That's
collection.
amazing.
Holy
What an amazing job.
Oh man, that is patience.
in a caged bunker that has a steel door too. So
Like me trying to put mini nukes on a shelf is like a bull in a china shop.
Right,
oh,
right.
it's so beautiful. It's like America the Beautiful is playing in the background, I'm sure.
Yeah, this is like watching Wasteland Cribs.
Wasteland Cribs. Oh my gosh, Shaline, that should be the name of the challenge.
Oh, I missed it.
Oh, somebody write that down. We got to remember that. Planning the show on the show.
So
That was nice.
that was last 2 weeks challenge. That was amazing.
That was great.
Do we have a challenge for this week?
Do we?
I don't
I
know.
don't know. Do we?
Wasteland Cribs.
Wow. I've got nothing, guys. I didn't. I don't
Okay.
know.
You know,
I could think of one.
I saw that next week in your show notes. I saw the next week challenge. I'm like, oh, good, someone's got a challenge planned.
No, Rick, that's just in the little template that we use.
Yeah.
That's just in the template that we use.
So
Yeah.
anyway,
So let me think here. How something?
I've got one.
Let's see.
planning
Go
the
ahead.
show.
So since we were talking about
planning the show,
NPCs
on the show
for Fallout 76,
Mm-hmm.
take a photo with your most favorite NPC in Fallout 4 or any
Yeah.
Fallout series.
Let's do that.
I think that might have been our first ever challenge that we did. ever.
Well, let's pay
I think
homage
it's
to
a
it and
good
bring it
time to
back.
revisit it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
So send us a screenshot of you, your character, and your favorite Fallout NPC. Don't forget to include the hashtag that Fallout Show Challenge.
TFS challenge.
It's in the show notes.
TFS
Hashtag
challenge.
TFS challenge.
It is not in the show notes.
It is not in
It
the
is
show
not.
Just
notes
says hashtag challenge.
because I haven't fixed it. I'm sorry, guys.
So yes,
Sorry.
on Twitter, hashtag TFS Challenge. Don't forget to tweet at us at that Fallout Show because we will miss it and it won't end up on the next show. If
Way. So yeah, cool. We have a challenge. MP selfie with a C. Never mind. Shaline, I believe you have some wonderful slow IRL stuff. You're muted, dear. You are way muted. Stop it! You're muted. What is going on? I lost all sound. Nope. Well, somehow Zoom just died. We'll be right back after this short message. What the?
Ah.
Hi, we're back.
Hello.
Everything's fine. Nothing happened.
Yes.
Literally,
for the audio people, they will never know.
No.
They need not know what happened.
never.
Wow, Shaline, you're so pretty.
Guys,
thank
you
you.
just look
Oh,
so
look at
adorable
you.
now.
This like aura. You've got this like
Oh,
hue, like an angel.
I can see like every individual hair in your beard.
You guys are both so
Looks
sharp.
so good. Oh, wow.
To be honest with you guys, the audio just decided to like stop. So, sorry. Anyway, we were talking about your IRL segments. Let's just get on with it.
Let's roll into that. So this
HD
is
beard.
Fallout IRL, sort of. The Mega
HD.
Sloth. So
Wait, what did you just say?
the
What?
Mega Sloth?
That's an IRL thing? Like in
Sort of.
Huh.
Yeah. So the Mega Sloths, we know them, we love them. From the Fallout 76 trailer, I want to tame one and ride it into battle. They are a fabulous new enemy that we will face in Fallout 76. And there were once Mega Sloths in North
Whoa.
America.
Whoa.
Greek for large claw, the Megalonyx, is an extinct genus of ground sloth that once existed in North America. And I actually, I didn't think of this entirely on my own. I have a Google alert set for Fallout, and a little article popped up about these giant sloths that
So
were going to
Rick,
be in Fallout.
why is this
So-
not a thing in ARC?
I know, right? I know.
Like, it totally should be. Anyways.
These creatures existed approximately 11,000 years ago. The species M. jeffersoni measured about 9.8 feet and weighed just over a ton. In
Whoa.
1796, Colonel John Stuart sent Thomas Jefferson, who was then the President of the United States, some fossils that were discovered in a cave in Greenbrier County in what is now West Virginia. Later evidence, like later, I mean from the 90s, suggested that the bones actually originated in a cave in Monroe County. But the next year after having received them, Jefferson presented a paper on the bones to the American Philosophical Society in Philadelphia. He believed that the bones were the remains of a lion, which he named the Megalonyx. He believed the creature was not extinct. Contrary to current and contemporary belief that extinction played a role in our natural history, Jefferson believed in a completeness of nature, which did not allow for species to go extinct. He asked Lewis and Clark to keep an eye out for the creature on their eponymous journey. In 1799, Dr. Caspar Wistar identified the remains as those of a giant sloth. And 2 decades later, he suggested naming the species Megalonyx jeffersoni in honor of Jefferson. Jeffersoni is the most commonly found species of the Megalonyx. This sloth had a blunt snout, a massive jaw, and large peg-like teeth. Its hind legs were flat-footed, and using its strong tail, the sloth could stand semi-erect to eat leaves. Fossils found in Iowa suggest that the species cared for young of different generations. So it would have, an older sibling and a younger sibling that one mother was caring for. They have been found in much of North and Central America and as far north as Alaska and the Yukon. In 2008, Megalonyx jeffersoni was named the official state fossil of West Virginia.
Very cool. I didn't realize there was actually, because we were all kind of like sloths in West Virginia. What the heck? And then here we go.
It seemed random. It was not random.
There's a method to their madness.
Very
Why are
interesting.
we worried? Why are we worried?
Indeed. So that's what Bethesda does really well.
That blew my mind, honestly.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. Very cool.
Rick, what is this? What is this next thing?
So I was digging around for a lore segment, and I stumbled upon Fallout 2, the isometric. There was a creature called the Wanamingo. And I never knew about this. Some of the people who've played Fallout 2 will remember this thing because it is, I think, a part of the main storyline. But the Wanamingo is a mutant animal that lives in the underground of the area of Fallout 2, some of the surrounding area as well. So rumors have this thing as an alien because it doesn't look like anything that resembles terrestrial life. It's bipedal. It has a large central body with a big mouth and razor sharp, big pointy teeth and large appendages that are like tentacles coming out of the side of it. So it looks really funky. It doesn't look like anything that exists. So people were like, oh, it's an alien. But it was actually created by the FEV virus as a weapon, which that is a commonality that it shares with the Deathclaw. It doesn't have any eyes whatsoever, but it I guess it senses its prey or something, but it knows exactly where you are. And for some also unknown reason, its attacks cause radiation damage. So you've got this big chomper thing with these tentacles running at you and causes radiation damage, and it's terrifying looking. And apparently extremely dangerous in close combat because it, wacky and flailing arm mouth thing. They breed from one queen, Wanamingo, which the others seem to protect, and she lays the little eggs with the baby little Wanamingos hatch from. That's the only way that they can breed.
Maybe the Wanamingo ate your baby.
I was
Sorry.
thinking, you wouldn't want to mingle with that monster. Yeah,
Wow.
it's just.
There's Wanamingo in my Winnebago.
I was gonna say I've got some fruit, Wanamingo.
So Wanamingos.
They can't breed without a queen, and the only known queen is below the town of Reading, in the mines there. And I believe that you have to go in and clear them out in Fallout 2. According to the Fallout Bible, Wanamingos go Wanamingos go extinct 5 years after the events of Fallout 2 due to a biological clock of unknown origin. It is suspected that the clock was created during the FEV as a way of population control. Because, like, the problem with, like, the T virus and the G virus with Resident Evil is there was no way. The zombies just multiplied, and they're like, oopsie, engineering oversight. Now there's zombies everywhere. With these, it's kind of like, oh, after 5 years, we'll unleash them on China, and they'll die after 5 years, and we can just kind of walk in. It honestly makes more sense to just do a air fuel bomb. Seems more probable than this stupid idea. Anyway, so just. Yeah. So only appearing in Fallout 2. They were also in the concept art. Remember the book of concept art you could get with Fallout 3? I think if you got like some edition, you would get a book of concept art. There was a version of the Winamingo in the concept art for Fallout 3, but it only appears in Fallout 2. In Fallout 2, it's resistant to most types of damages, and it's really tough, and it unleashes a fury of different attacks when you get close to it. It's weak to fire, though, and if you shoot its foot and cripple it, it will flee. So apparently it doesn't like its toes being squished. Mutant Wanamingo. So the one in Fallout 3 was actually a mutant Wanamingo. And it was cut, obviously, because it's not in the game. It was highly mutated by radiation. It lost its tentacles, but kept its feetsies. It has an even larger mouth and was a bit more pink than its Western counterparts. So, like,
Interesting.
looked more weird. I'm sure I've seen things like that in games before, just a big giant mouth with feet. So it was likely an homage to xenomorphs from Aliens, because they kind of resemble xenomorphs, and a lot of people refer to them as aliens.
Interesting.
Yeah. And apparently there was a weird thing when you target it in VATS in Fallout 2. It says, and I pulled this quote because it was pretty interesting to read. When targeting any form of Wanamingo, the option to shoot an area labeled the eyes ? Appears. It is clear to see that the Wanamingo doesn't have eyes. Thus, when hit in said area, the player receives the dialogue, Wanamingo was hit in the eyes ? For X hit points, damaging its air ? Intake.
Wow. That was really interesting, Rick.
Yeah, I mean they're ridiculous looking.
I think I never got to that part of Fallout 2.
I would imagine it's towards the end. But yeah,
I need to finish those games, man. I need to finish them.
I found that little piece, and I know we were kind of like, oh, what should we do, weapon or lore or something? And I found that I was like, I never heard of that before. It'd be really interesting, cool. And it's a tie back to our other lore about the Wendigo.
Yeah, the folklore.
Yeah.
I loved that folklore episode. That was really fun.
It was very good. So
Interesting.
we have emails.
Yes.
Vendor.
Well, the first one is addressed to Shaline.
Well, oh, that's true. But you
Go forth, Vendor. You should read it.
Go forth.
All right.
And multiply.
Here is the promised email. It says, hi, Shaline. Here's the promised email. Maybe you could go forward with this appreciative message to Rick. Of course, you could mention excerpts from that Fallout show episode 2 if you'd like to. Here we go. I'm a guy from Germany who played Fallout almost from the beginning, say 1998 or so, when my friends Thomas gave me a copy of Fallout, a post-nuclear role-playing game. I was enthralled from the first minute. I played Fallout 2, Tactics, Fallout 3, and it finally came after years of waiting, and Fallout New Vegas. Yes, you can say I am a hardcore Fallout player. I even converted Fallout to the GURPS role-playing game system.
Yeah, that was...
I'm familiar with this.
Oh, it's like a really deep cut. I think it was the way that they structured the stats and such for Fallout 1 and 2.
Ah, okay.
Shaline?
Between 2002 and 2006, before Fallout 3 was announced, all PDFs of Jason Michaels' Fallout PNP I still have. Only Wasteland, too old. Van Buren, the leaked demo lies dormant on my hard drive. And Fallout Brotherhood of Steel, I've never owned a console except for an Atari 2600. I've skipped and Chris Taylor's Fallout Warfare tactical board game, but that was unofficial, of course. And then came Fallout 4. For years, I had combed the internet for news about the next game, and there it was. And my brother Arnie, like Schwarzenegger, gave it to me as a birthday present. We will play Fallout 76 together, of course. I bought a new PC just to be able to play it, along with the new sound card and software for recording music, but still, And in early 2016, I discovered Fallout Off the Record. I had listened to a couple of Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas podcasts back in those days, but FOTR was easily the best researched, best produced, nicest Fallout podcast I had ever listened to, and is still today with the highest sound quality.
Right, no sound at all.
As a frequent listener of FOTR, I can attest to that. Here I had Rick, the cheeky, cool, obviously audio competent buddy I'd like to drink a Bach beer with.
Yeah, Bach beer. I'll take you up on a Heffa.
And there was Shaline, the always well-prepared, well-informed, knowledgeable, beautiful, funny gamer gal with the bewitching voice. A dream team of two people I really would like to meet in person someday. With Fallout Off the Record, there was only one problem. I didn't want to spoil anything of Fallout 4 for me by listening to you. So I subscribed to your podcast via iTunes and copied all episodes which maybe could contain compromising information to a safe file drawer. Plus, I am a slow player thanks to my job and my family. That's why I still had many episodes to go when you approached your final episode number 63 on November 8th, 2016 and ended Fallout Off the Record.
Wow, can you believe it's almost been 2 years?
And I still played Fallout 4. In the 19 months since I listened to nearly all of the remaining episodes, many of them more than one time, there are still a couple, exactly 10, left I have to revisit. But, as I hoped it would, there has been announced a new Fallout title, and you have returned! And I have finally have the chance to tell you how much you and your voices mean to me. You're nearly as close to me as real friends, although you have never heard of me, although we've never met, although you never outlined much about your personal lives.
What?
Where do we go from here? Well, I mean, come on.
We're like hearts
Shaline
on
has
sleeves here.
the town train rolling through, you know.
It's the hype train.
Yeah.
The hype train.
Where do we go from here? You will put out further amazing shows as you always do. I will listen, love it, and spread the word in my little world. There's not much else I can do, but at least now you know I am out there. And here's plus one human being who really, really appreciates what you're doing. Thank you. And to use my favorite Shaline goodbye phrase, try not to die. Your fan, BitTrashRiot.
I love BitTrashRiot. After reading, like, I gotta say too, this is the most German email I've ever written. Everything is precise. Exactly 10. Here's the exact date.
I know,
Here's
that was
6.98 inches.
I love it. I'm so glad that my car was designed by Germans in this case.
Feelings.
I know,
guys.
right?
Feelings.
But this is such a lovely email, and
BTR, you're the best.
yes, thank you so much. And again, thank you for the collab with Mr. G. Man, I like the fact that we've had a couple people like skip some of the Fallout 4 episodes because they didn't want spoilers. So I found that interesting.
Nothing wrong with that.
Which is amazing. That means that there are people out there who have the episodes in queue and haven't listened to them. How exciting.
Oh, man, thank you so much for the kind words. And we look forward to providing you more content to check out.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for the instructions there.
Yeah.
You will put out
I know.
further amazing. Okay, let's get on that.
That is also very German. Yeah.
I was talking about reading this email as Professor Scratch and Sniff, but I just decided not to.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I've been listening to a lot of
No,
Rob
no.
Paulson, and he did the voice for that. So,
Well, as
But
someone
thank you. Thank you,
as someone who was a listener of Fallout Off the Record, I can totally share the sentiment with BitTrashRiot. Like, I would race home from work on a Friday
I
to think we
remember.
could
To
almost
watch the
call you
show.
death.
I remember you getting a flat and like we sending us pictures of the guy fixing your bike.
Oh yeah,
my bike tire.
yes.
flat on his bike.
Oh man.
That was the day of the loot boxes.
Was it?
That was
Right,
the
it
that was the
was,
worst.
wasn't it?
That was like the worst day commute ever. I got home. Not only did my tire go flat, but I got home and somehow I didn't have a key to get in the door.
Oh no.
So I had to call my partner to come over to bring the key, and it's just like,
Yeah.
Did you see what?
and I was just like freaking out.
So Raid Leader Scummy McBall says in chat, if they rebooted FOTR or whatever that is, what famous actor/actress would play you guys?
Oh man.
I would have Matthew Broderick, because I think most
Matthew
people.
Broderick.
Yeah, because
That might
everyone
work. Yeah,
everyone
that might
says
work.
I look like him.
Yeah.
You're hysterical. You're getting hysterical.
Someone told me, they're like, if I closed my eyes while watching Ferris Bueller's Day Off,
Yeah.
I see you. And I'm like,
Yeah, it's true.
great. I'm so happy
How
about
funny. Yeah, I can see it.
that. It's better
I
than
can see
Joe
it.
Dirt, which I've gotten before.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I would play
Yeah.
Seth Green.
Yeah, I said that earlier. I was like,
Yeah.
you got a Seth Green
I
thing
can see
going
that
on.
too. I can see that too.
What about you, Shaline?
I've never
Milton
been
Berle.
successfully able. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Come on, Rick. Shaline would play Oprah. I mean, Oprah would play Shaline.
Don't think that's how
Yeah.
this works.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's so fabulous and famous.
I don't know. I've never really been able to cast myself, but that's fine. I would have to play myself in the reboot.
Yeah, I mean, nobody else can play you.
compare.
Oh
Yeah,
dear.
we're the replaceable ones. Obviously, because
So,
Bender's a robot.
No, stop that kind of talk right now. Stop that kind of talk right now. I'm looking the wrong way because cameras. Stop.
We do have another email to get through.
Let's read it.
Go ahead, Shaline.
Jason writes, "Greetings! I recently decided to restart Fallout New Vegas from the beginning, and I was wondering what you all think is the best ending to go with. In a previous playthrough, I decided to kill Mr. House, but I wasn't sure what course of action to take beyond that, which is why I decided to start over. Thanks in advance." Okay, Jason, I'm going to say that the best ending to Fallout New Vegas is probably, like, for the people of New Vegas, I'm going to say it's probably the Mr. House ending.
Mm-hmm.
I think the people all have the best life.
Isn't there a way to keep Mr. House alive and do the NCR ending?
Yeah, but he's not, like, aware. He's disconnected.
Is he?
It's not good. It's worse than killing him.
Then House, yeah. I mean, I did the NCR. I'll never ever do the Legion. I also agree with Shaline that the House would probably be the best ending to do. I've only beat that game once. I've played it like hundreds of hours, and I've only beat it once, which is normal for me. So yeah. What about you, Vendor?
Well, Fallout New Vegas is still probably one of my favorite Fallout games, even more so than Fallout 4. I don't know. I think that I decided to kill Mr. House every time that I played.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I did try to side with Caesar's Legion and then be a mole and like try to kill Caesar.
That never works.
No.
It never works. It never works. But
Never works.
yeah, Fallout New Vegas for me was a special game because I played it so much while I was waiting for Fallout 4.
Right.
I would finish it and then I would just start it over.
Yeah,
and then I would finish it and I would start it over again.
It's exactly the same thing for me. I just I beat it once and then just kept restarting.
I've beat it a ton of times because achievements. And let's see, I felt pretty terrible about the Legion ending. My Legion ending was awful. Like, it was awful. I had sold Arcade Gannon into slavery as Caesar's personal doctor, and like he commits suicide in the post credits, like in the when the narrator comes out. Oh, it hurt. Oh, I was so sorry, and all of the companions didn't want anything to do with me. It was just awful. It was just awful.
My gosh.
I felt awful, and it was awful. The NCR ending, to me, like I usually go with the NCR ending because Boone.
I did it for the hats.
Because Boone. But I don't feel like the NCR ending is necessarily best for the people of New Vegas.
You get dictator or fascist, you know?
Basically. And I've done the Yes Man ending is probably the second best ending to do independent New Vegas.
I forgot you could do that.
Yeah, take it over for yourself. That's probably the next best ending. But of course, like, I feel like Mr. House probably knows what's up better than I know what's up.
Yeah.
So.
And the worst ending of all is the ending of this show, which we have arrived at.
Yeah, I think we're there.
And I want to open it up. Do you guys have any announcements coming up?
Yes, I think we do. Vendertron, take it
Yeah,
away.
we do. So don't forget, guys, Days of Our Life is Strange is the next to air here on WJLG. Shaline and I have decided to bring it to you a little bit earlier. So we're going to go live at 4:30 p.m. Mountain Time. That's 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on the WJLG Twitch channel. We also want you to stay tuned for next Friday when we bring you another awesome episode of GameStack Podcast. Don't forget to send us your challenge photos of being a bushman or a bushwoman, sending us your game character loincloth selfies.
Ooh, awesome. And to do that, you can tweet at us at That Fallout Show. That's how you get in contact with us. You can tweet at us at We Just Love Games to contact the network. You can tweet at me at Rick McVick. You can tweet at Shaline L. And you can tweet at Vendertron at VendertronIn. We also have a couple of Facebook places you can go to, like facebook.com/thatfalloutshow, which is our page. We've got facebook.com/groups/thatfalloutshow, which is our That Fallout Show group. We have facebook.com/WeJustLoveGames and facebook.com/groups/WeJustLoveGames. There are pages and groups for all of our content here. You can email us, which we will probably read on air, especially if it contains foul language. We will definitely read it. Email us at info@wejustlovegames.com. What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Did I get a link wrong?
No.
Train wreck the ending?
You're doing great. You're doing great, Rick.
I see Shaline
There's
typing
no
in
more wreck that we could put in this train.
You're doing great.
You can like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/WeJustLoveGames, and find us here on twitch.tv/WeJustLoveGames every Friday night, 8:30 Eastern Time. You can find our show on iTunes and Stitcher Radio, and Radio. You can find our show on iTunes
On the
and Stitcher
radio.
Radio. Leave us a review on iTunes. Yeah, you can find us on iTunes and Stitcher Radio. Leave us a review on iTunes. If it's 5-star and you have a comment, we will shout you out. So please do that. We can also 5-star. I believe I said 5-star. Vender's got his palm in the camera.
Oh, well.
You can also find us wherever podcasts are downloaded. Check us out. Our other game show. Gosh, I can't talk today. This is
We
so
should
bad.
do a game show one day.
We should. We need to.
That
bring
would be
game
so
shows back.
fun.
It would be fun.
Can we
Let's
do like a
let's do
Japanese style game show?
I don't know how we would do that.
Where we
sitting
like
in our
cover
chairs.
ourselves in Vaseline and like slide
What?
down the stairs or something.
Wow, let's don't do that.
Let's no.
I'm just gonna make a unilateral veto right there.
No
Just-
Vaseline.
We'll
no
talk about it.
sliding.
I'll sneak it
Yeah.
in. I'll sneak it into the next meeting minutes.
I don't even want to talk about Vaseline on the podcast. Like, let's just keep going.
Next,
So, guys, Game Stack.
next Friday,
watch Game
8:30 here on Twitch, GameStack, and we also do live streams of games as well, as you mentioned. Days of Our Life is Strange coming to you Sunday. Thank you so much for listening and bearing with us through all the goofiness. Shaline, your last word.
It's all over, but the crying